If you think that managing an Airbnb by yourself is too hard, then you're gonna wanna watch this video. I have been an Airbnb investor and host for the last 5 years. I have also worked full-time in a very demanding job during that entire time, and let me tell you, it is absolutely doable. However, there are 3 conditions that have to be in place in order for this to be something that is easy to do yourself and profitable. So let's get into it. The first condition that has to be in place has to do with the property that you are managing. It's gotta be in pristine condition. It has to be very pretty in that it's decorated well, and it has to have the proper amenities. When you have all of those things in place, you're not spending a ton of time trying to maintain the home because that's already done. Your guests are delighted by their experience, so you are not getting lots of messages from guests asking if you have certain items or dealing with them being unhappy and having negative reviews, because you have all of the right amenities that attract your guest avatar. So that's really sort of the first condition that really has to be met. You've got to have all 3 of those things. That's the first aspect that makes self-managing your Airbnb investment very easy to do. The next thing that really needs to be in place in order for you to be able to self-manage your Airbnb investment is something that you need to make sure is in place before you buy the home. So that is, it's in the right location. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean 2 things. The first is that it's in an overall location, a region of the world, a part of your country that people actually visit. So you want to make sure that you don't just have one high season and then you're empty for the rest of the year. You want to pick a location where people are either going year round or there are at least 2 high seasons. That way your revenue is going to be a lot more predictable and you're going to have a sort of steady flow of guests, which means it's actually going to be much easier for you to manage versus when you have a home that only see guests every once in a while. So why does that even matter? Well, the first reason that that matters, that you have this steady stream of guests, is that you're always going to have eyes on your property. So not only are guests going to be seeing your home, but your cleaner is always going to be seeing your home. And that means if there's any sort of damage or emergency that occurs, your cleaner will at least be there to help you address it. And this is especially important if you don't live next to where your Airbnb investment or investments are located. So being in a location where you have the steady stream of guests helps you actually maintain the property and do so much easier. The other reason why having those steady stream of guests, being in the right location that attracts that steady stream of guests, helps you manage the Airbnb a lot better is because you yourself as the manager are going to get a lot more practice in managing guests, as well as in managing your cleaner and all of the other vendors that you need to help you run that business. So the more guests you have, the more opportunities you have to interact with them, learn what questions they have, what concerns they have as they're staying with you, and for you to be able to address those things. It also helps you create systems in order to manage your supplies, because if you're having steady streams of guests, that means they're gonna go through the toilet paper, the paper towels, all those consumable items. So you, in order to make it easy on yourself, are gonna have to create a system to be able to order those things, and that's certainly something that your cleaner can help you with. So that's another reason why it's so important to have your home in the right location, so that people are in your property a lot more often, giving you more practice. Okay, so then the third reason why you should absolutely be managing your Airbnb investment yourself is for profit. Now, that's not just meaning the income that you are going to be making for guests. I mean, that's kind of the obvious point, right? But there's another really important reason that I think a lot of people just don't know about, that managing your Airbnb investment yourself is just, it's absolutely critical to do. And that is because as someone who manages your Airbnb yourself and you own the property, right? This is not something that people who do arbitrage, who are renting a home from a landlord and then renting it out on Airbnb, those folks aren't eligible for this. But if you own your Airbnb and you manage it yourself, at least for the first year, and you meet some other criteria, you are eligible for what is called bonus depreciation. So when you own an investment property, you are supposed to take what is called depreciation, and that's basically a tax credit for the wear and tear of a building. When you own a short-term rental, you would normally take depreciation over the course of 39 years, right? So there's a calculation by which you would take the value of the home and then some of the contents, and you would kind of divide them evenly, but not really. But just for the sake of this example. And then each year, you would take increments of that depreciation. So instead of that, what Airbnb investors and owners can do that self-manage, you can take bonus depreciation. So running the calculation of the value of the home and some of the contents like appliances, flooring, things like that, windows, those are all assigned a value, and you calculate what the depreciation is over 39 years, and you can take a huge chunk of that in year one, and that is called bonus depreciation. You can but you can actually get back tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax write-offs. Now, the important thing is that because when you manage an Airbnb, the income that you receive from it is considered active income, the losses that you undergo through depreciation and through the cost of doing business, all of those losses can count against your active income. So if you are a W-2 earner, you are in a 9-to-5 job, you can use bonus depreciation to almost completely wipe out your tax liability, which I've been able to do. And so that, to me, I think is the biggest reason why Airbnb investors want to self-manage their property, at least for that first year, so that they are eligible for bonus depreciation. So like when you take all three of those reasons that I've gone over in this video, not only is it easy to manage an Airbnb, like when you set it up right, but it's far more profitable for you in the end. And that's really why you're in this, right? You want to earn income, you want to build wealth. And so that is why Airbnb investments, in my mind, are one of the best asset classes to invest in. So I hope that you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.